Hey y'all, it's Elisha and welcome back to Elisha's Crafty Hoplop. It is Tuesday afternoon. It's a little earlier than I thought I'd come on. I got up earlier than I thought. I think it's just, it's noisy. It's just noisy, y'all. Welcome back to my returning subscribers, to people who are new here in the Hoplop. Might be a strange 24 hours, 48 hours, just in light of what is happening all over the country and in New York City specifically. Just for those of you who are checking in on Lanny, and actually I'm going to check in on Sunshine Honeybees too, because last night the Bronx had, they had also a series of events happen. I want to be, I was saying to Lanny in text, how do we communicate that New Yorkers support the protest? We as New Yorkers support this protest. That's why everyone, when the protest went by here, everyone went outside to support it. As a New Yorker, New York is filled with all different types of people from all over the world, and we are a safe place. That's what we call ourselves. We're a safe place. So we definitely support protesting this issue. So I want to say that very upfront. It's the looting that is concerning everybody in New York. It's not the protest. Peaceful protest to end systemic racism, this city is 100% behind. The looting only frightens us just because historically, when there's looting involved, it burns down whole communities. If you know anything about New York's history, the Bronx has been burned to the ground before. And we don't want to see communities completely decimated, especially during COVID, where it will put them at great risk. So the stress is from the fires, it's from the looting, it's not the protest, y'all. Everyone here supports this protest. They believe that it's an important historical event, and everyone in New York hands down wants there to be change. They also don't want redlining. They want the wage gap to close, not just in New York City, but across America. And there is a legit wage gap. There is. So we want that addressed. However, what we don't want is what's happening right now near Lanny. So Lanny just texted me all, and there's problems all along Broadway, which is one of the streets that connects Lanny and I together. And there's looting and fires and all sorts of things. Happens to be very close to where I believe one of Lizzie's sisters live also. So our fear is not the protest. Everyone, again, supports the protest 100%. And we want an end to systemic racism, which we have in this country. What we're worried about is what happens if we burn down people's homes during COVID. New York doesn't have a safety net, y'all. There isn't like a place where people can be housed safely. You know where they'll put people who are homeless from fires? In a stadium together. And so our worry is we are not yet done COVID. We still have 89,000 cases of people with COVID. So where would we put people safely? That's our fear. So we don't want looting and fires to get out of hand. We don't want the Bronx to go through what they've gone through before, where their entire community was burned down. Or alphabet cities had that happen, where they were like burnt to the ground in protest. We don't want that, because right now we have nowhere to put these people safely. And that's our concern. I know that Deborah's Chillin' Bags wanted to reach me, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing phone calls right now. Like there's too much happening in New York and across the country. I need to conserve my energy, because legit we had problems. Like Lanny texted me that there is stuff happening right now, and to stay inside. We need to be more careful right now. And I need to save my energy for good things like crafting. So I just wanted to be clear about that. Like for us, there is a difference. When I said return to normal yesterday, I didn't mean like return to normal systemic racism. I mean that we work together to end things in a way that is peaceful and doesn't cost people their apartments during a pandemic. That's really what I mean. And I wanted to be specific about that. Like every other New Yorker, I support the protest. I really do. I just don't support burning down people's houses. So for me, it's just that simple, especially not during COVID, especially not. And we already have price hikes here, y'all. I'm sure other people have them across the country, but we're paying a lot more for things here in New York. So if stores get burnt down, if stores gets damaged, we're going to pay for that. That avocado that's $4 is going to be $8, And what does that mean for the rest of us, for the rest of our lives? But it's also an important historical moment. I think this is a moment where people are standing up and saying, we're paying attention and this has got to stop. And I don't want to take away that voice. I live in America because I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in the ability to speak up your mind, to speak for your civil liberties. I believe that civil liberties are a right for all people. All people. And I believe that so strongly. So I definitely support protest, just not looting. especially not during a pandemic. I'm terrified for people to lose their homes, y'all. I'm just terrified because we just don't have an infrastructure here. They'll end up in a stadium together. And then what happens with COVID? So much stress. All right, well, let's get away from the stress and let's go on to something happy like crafting. Okay, Marilyn, if you're watching Sweetwater Cards, turn this off because I don't want you to get a preview. But I thought it would be nice to share with you guys something. During this crisis, I thought it would be great to share something that I struggle with, but I overcame to do for swap. But I don't want Marilyn to get a sneak peek because it'll ruin her surprise. So Marilyn is an excellent card maker, Sweetwater Cards. She is a really terrific card maker, and so agreeing to swap with her is a little nerve-wracking for some of us that struggle with card making. But it's also a way, like when I swapped with Carmen, to sort of force me to raise my bar a bit and to really put my heart into something. And so, because I don't want to disappoint her. So I think if for those of us that struggle with card making, and I know a lot of you said you did too, one of the ways to help us over that hump is by swapping with someone who's really good at it, because then we just have to work harder. So I'm going to share with you five or six of the cards I made for Marilyn. Some of them I love, some of them I wish had come out a little bit better or differently, but I'll share that with you. I made her a selection of cards for all year, meaning cards she can use for crafting all year. So one for Halloween, Christmas, swaps, hope, encouragement in case she needs a sympathy card, and that sort of thing. I did use the same color palette throughout because I wanted them all to be cohesive. It's a pink, purple, and teal palette, really pretty. Yeah, and I'll just share them with y'all. So Marilyn's a shabby crafter. So these cards are either shabby, clean shabby, shabby chic, super shabby. Well, you'll see. Or like this one, somewhere in between. So this is Prima paper, which is traditionally shabby. This is a digital that I purchased and then deckled and then distress stained. This is Prima paper behind in Marilyn's favorite colors, which are pink and like, it's kind of a weird teal. It's somewhere between a mint green and a teal, but she likes that color a lot. This is a series of floral stems from Prima, and then I added different Prima flowers. This is a digital sentiment that I distressed. So that's one of the cards. This could be a sentiment card or an encouragement card. The Christmas one is really fun. It's also super shabby. This is a shabby digital print that I purchased for this swap. You can see again layered up on Prima paper. Everything is lightly distress stained in pink and purple. This is a very shabby trim. Then I've added some holographic trim, some Prima flowers, some more flowers here. I mean, inside it's just really nicely layered up, and I haven't put in the sentiment yet because I actually am setting her the sentiment separately so that she can choose what sentiment she wants to put on everything. This is just like our everyday swap card. This is several layers of Prima built up. This is a digital that I purchased, distressed. I then glittered, stickled. That's a seam binding bow in her hair with a little paper flower. I actually like this. This is a shabby chic clean card, but I really like it actually. I think it turned out really pretty. Like I would be happy to get this card. And for clean crafting, pretty good for me, right? You see what I mean? When you're raising your bar, you work harder. This one's super shabby. This is the Halloween card. It was really fun to make this. This was so fun to make. My one disappointment is that when I did the glossy accent, so the eyes are stickled so that they glitter, but the cat, which you can't see, is all glossy accented so that it's beautifully like shiny and a focal point. But look what happened, y'all. It buckled my 110 cardstock a little bit, and that was a lesson. So I'm not happy. It's only a tiny buckle, but I don't like it. And I've tried flattening it, and it's not fully flattening. But I do love this card. I do. I really love it. It's super shabby. It's got the shabby trim. It's got like 12 shabby flowers. But I do really like this card a lot. It was really fun to make, too. It was really, really fun to make. I love it. For Halloween, shabby Halloween, it was super great. And then I made her like a bunch of different goodies. I actually so I went and I altered these guest checks so that they're in the matching tonal colors of the swap. I did sentiments for her. And then I also made her shabby Maggie cards. So these are gift enclosures that I made for her. I'll show you one. They're kind of like this, only they alternate between flowers and bows. And basically it's cardstock, Maggie Holmes paper, cardstock distressed, and then Maggie Holmes paper. But I made them more shabby-esque. It's sort of like a clean shabby. And I made her a bunch of these just to use as gift card enclosures. Now, most gift card enclosures, sorry about that. Most gift card enclosures are 3x3. but I decided to make mine 4x4 because I like the size better. So I made her a stack of those as well, because when we're swapping, we need cards like this all the time. So these are good for her to have on hand, and they're still shabby, but they're shabby meets Maggie. And then I also, I did a bunch of sentiment cut aparts for her. These are digital prints from My Porch Prints. I did a bunch of card bases, all different, I included a lot of the card pieces that I used, the digitals. So I basically made her a card making kit, which I don't want to show because in case she is watching, I don't want her to see her goodies or some of the other things. But that, folks, is my card share. So you see, even for those of us that struggle with card making, we can jump that hurdle. If someone agrees to swap with us, then we have to bring our A game. And again, while I'm upset that this buckled, this is probably my favorite one. This really is. It's for Shabby Halloween. It was super fun to make, super cute. And I don't know, there's something about this card. I have a thing for it, which is funny because you'd think I'd be most proud of this because this is really hard for me. And I did it successfully. So that's pretty amazing. I think this is an elegant card. This just is like fun. Fun, fun, fun. So that's it, y'all. There's a little sneak peek at my outgoing swap. We are having mail issues. So they're asking us not to go to the post office until this all settles down. And they're assuming that's going to be Friday or Saturday. And officially, like other states, officially the post office is not running. But what that means is, like I told you, I still got mail yesterday. Miss Pat, who they announced the same thing in Pat's area because of the same problems there. But she said she got mail yesterday too. And then I saw on the news this morning, they were saying that it's amazing that postal carriers are still delivering because they're under no obligation to right now in certain states. So for those of you waiting on mail from me, you're going to be waiting because clearly they're not working at full speed. It's probably going to be late now, y'all. Sorry. I'm just guessing. And it was already taking an extra week. So I can only imagine what's going to happen. Nothing we can do about it, y'all. Other than pray and hope that everything... let's just hope that we get through this like we got through COVID. That's what I hope for everybody. And I do hope it does make people pay attention. Why are so many people upset and raising their voice for this issue? It's because it's a problem, y'all. It's a problem. And that's why New Yorkers are supporting it. It is a systemic problem across the country. But we also need people to be safe during this crisis. We're not done here in New York, y'all. 89,000 people are still infected. That's a lot. So we got to do what we can to keep everybody safe. All right, wishing each of you a happy and a healthy Tuesday. I'm clearly going to need a nap. I'm sure that Lanny and Sunshine Honeybees are in the same boat. I'm sure Lizzie's sisters are in the same boat. None of us got much sleep last night, y'all. There were helicopters flying overhead all night. So it was very noisy here. I crafted because that's my way of coping. I'm hoping that each of you are crafting too. Wishing for you a happy and a healthy Tuesday. I may be back on later today with Happy Mail, or I may not be. We shall see. I might be napping. You never know, y'all. But I am going to catch up on your videos and comments. I know I have to catch up on comments, and I'll make sure to do that tonight. All right, y'all. Take real good care, and bye for now.